Good evening, ladies. And today we gather here to celebrate creativity and unity. So we welcome you all to our celebration of World Poetry Day. In a world often divided by differences, poetry stands as a bridge connecting hearts and minds across cultures, languages, and generations. It is a testament to the power of words to inspire, heal, and ignite change. We now invite our guest of honor for today to start with the World Poetry Symposium 2024. We welcome uh, we welcome Mani Rao, author of 12 poetry books and chapbooks, including Love Me in a Hurry and Sing to Me.
Hi.
Also translated works like Bhagavad Gita, God's Song, and Saundarya Lahiri, Wave of Beauty. She explored mantra experience in tantric community, in living mantra, mantra deities, and visionary experiences. May we now hand over to Ms. Mani for the opening session.
Thank you so much, and so lovely to see all of you. I haven't met anybody who's on this screen so far, but I'm sure I will one day, being such a small community, even though it is a large community. I thought I would read a few poems that are very universal in theme. The first poem is about strangers and how we think we are alone. Let us move from lonely to alone, walk into crowded spaces and be one of them, any them. Go back to the same place until they expect our face. Sales girls, bartenders, bank tellers, all the public people, counters that tick for anyone, everyone. You know the man who runs the corner shop, and the guard with no name who knows you by your floor. Give friendly strangers the liberties you give strange friends. From love to rugby to poetry, don't join the club. Don't decide, don't divide. Home is where the heart is, and the heart is full of habit. Hum the school songs that fail to teach you to love your country. Pack up your loneliness and shift it from place to place into the unknown, voices at the other end of random phone numbers. Leave your eyes on in the dark, stare back, sleep, walk. And the second and the final poem is about elders, old age and elders, something that we are all going to be if we live long. The past has passed on. The past has passed on. Our old people locked up in nursing homes, laid flat and turned over from time to time, dying evenly on all sides. On lump mattresses, soaked bed sores, stained oozes, alok in the dark, their eyes are cannonballs in a battlefield deserted. When they roll in the breeze, you know there are animals inside these flesh cages. Ill-fitting skins, so much skin it could be stretched and wrapped around the body twice. So many things you can hide in the folds of your skin. A disposal bag you weave, so we don't have to bring any when we come, with the forceps and trays scraping for hair and skin for signs of violence under your fingernails. You have to come anyway to collect your souvenirs, to slide the ring off your finger, and by the way, see the skin doodles, the buzzing traffic of lines on your palm, at the lifeline no one is supposed to read, scratched over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mani, and thank you for your time. Uh,
Thank you.
Up next, we have for our next poetry, starting off with Rhodesia. Rhodesia, you're on mute.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Can I be heard now? Is
Huh?
my audio just
Yes.
fine?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Good evening to everyone. I'm Radisha, and happy astrological New Year. Okay. The past week has been very eventful in my life. Last March 14, that was the 11th death anniversary of my father. So this first poem is for him. It's entitled Ode to Papa. Okay. A decade has swiftly flown since you breathed your last and eased to eternal repose. But the strum of your guitar and your mesmerizing tenor still reverberates in our home with your heartening rendition of No Other Love, a vision that had shaped my soul. I take pride that I am your fruit, you, an honest, noble man dedicated to your profession. You have sailed oceans, reached far flung destinations, even battled an iceberg. As your ship blazed in pouring all your strength, wit, and passion, you brought passengers safely home. I have seen you pamper my mother like a queen, bringing her gifts from afar. You fortified our home in caring patience. Now, your secured, jovial clan has grown, each person carrying your essence, and the blessings to your line bestowed because of your righteousness and fortitude. Beloved Papa, you will always be remembered with warmth, reverence, and gratitude. So that was March 14. March 15 was the 75th birthday of my mother. Okay, so this next poem is for her. It's entitled 75 and it has 75 words also. You look as fabulous as ever, no less beautiful as when you cradled me in your arms or held my hand to preschool and braided my teenage hair. Your smile has never dulled, nor your eyes lacked luster, for overflowing from your heart is an everlasting spring of love resonating in your laughter. Yours is a life well lived. Your crown is your wisdom. Your children and our children adorn your scepter, our dearest Queen Mother. So the next poem is last March 16 was the birthday of one of the officers in the company where I am serving. So this poem is for the company. So it's entitled Medgate. It is a company of healers, a group of people who are sure to always be there whenever the sick need a cure, creating bridges from the sickbed to their treatment at the safety of home. It is a gate that opened an access to healing, once only imagined, now continually serving. And then March 17 was the 50th birthday of my husband. So this is for him. The Tiger and the Lamb. You may not have sparked the embers in my heart or ignited a fire in my soul. So many times I questioned the prank of fate in joining our lives to woe. How can a tiger live peaceably with a lamb in one home, except to protect fiercely and flood the family with food from your game? I may be too scared to even touch the tip of your claws, but I will mend all your wounds and heal your pain. Okay, the next poem is entitled Bonds. He makes her smile, an understanding friend who lifts the veil of her predicament. He warms her heart with soothing songs and vibrant dances dissolving distances. He feeds her breakfast from the toil of his hands and builds a solid roof to weather and withstand. Which bond remains? Which bond strains? Which bond will last? Which bond outlasts? The next poem is entitled Long Ago. Long ago, I have let you go, free as wind. I value you. Sands, strings fastened to puppet. Should you choose a separate path, I won't obstruct. All rivers run their tortoise journey back to the sea. And the last poem is entitled Orbits. We are Mars and Venus with the Earth in between us. Our gravity doesn't matter, albeit attracted to each other, for we have parallel orbits that may never intersect. Both dazzling on its own, but mesmerized by the other, content on doting from afar to maintain law and order. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ruchir. Thanks a lot. Up next, we have Mr. Aurobindo Ghosh. So, can you please unmute yourself? You are on mute, Mr. Ghosh.
Is it okay?
Yes, it is okay. We may just listen to your poem now.
Okay. Uh, it is about the, apparently, it is about the beach, Nagua Beach in Diu, in southern part of, western part of India. Sometime back, myself and my wife went there. And there we saw the beach and then we wrote this poem. Let us start. I have loved the sand of many beaches like Dubai, Bali, Baku, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi in the east, Amsterdam, Venice, Cannes, Nice, and Monte Carlo in the west. All are extraordinarily beautiful but without much life. In my India, Mumbai, Kolkata, Goa, Tiruvananthapuram, Chennai, Kovalam, Rameshwaram, Puri, Digha, Chennai, Hajira, Daman, Somnath, Dwarka, Mundra, and Nagua. They are not so extraordinary but full of welcome factor. Recently, we both went to Nagua in Diu in the west, sheltered by near the so-called shiny sand of sea, stretched over perhaps 2 kilometers in length in the curve. It wanted to file nomination for both cleanliness and ease. These beaches were there long before we evolved. These sands were there glittering without foot smashes. The water was cleaner, not muddy and grey like now. No boat and no pollution of petrol vehicles with noise. In some hundreds and thousands of years passing by, men with power became the owners of the natural entities. They gained right to spoil the environment so cruel. In the name of entertainment, she was simply molested. Adam and Eve, Adam said to Eve, "Darling, let us go to Garden of Eden to see the present status of the place of our expulsion. When we when we were only two, the law and order was strict. Code of conduct involving moral discipline was rigid. We were warned about the zero tolerance, reminded Eve. Adam said, yes, we thought the God's big heartedness. We had mistaken about our mutual behavioral trust. Our faith on God's forgiveness was proved to be a myth. No second chance was ever given to Adam and Eve. They were expelled for a mistake committed unknowingly. They were never given a chance to defend themselves. There was no defensive system to protect them. Adam remembered that he was alone in that garden. God instructed two and commanded one to observe. Firstly, create a beautiful atmosphere in the garden, and secondly, plant a tree of forbidden fruits at the center. The command came far after later when God created Eve. Once Adam was asleep and God took a rib out of him. From that rib he made Eve to make Adam's companion. When Adam awoke, he was delighted to find Eve standing. He remembered, he embraced Eve, kissed her forehead, and started talking. There was no time zone for them, only at sun and moon. Moon, full moon nights were special. They talked for a little more. They never ever forgot to obey the commandment of God. Never dare to think to pluck the fruit of forbidden tree. If you do so, instantaneously you both will be thrown out. No second chance is available in the garden of Lord. Never you'll be allowed again to enter into this garden. Who sent this serpent? Who induced Eve to convince Adam? Why Adam was easily convinced that they would just taste, knowing well that the forbidden food was not for tasted. It was a command of God Himself. Why it was broken? The snake knew that the tree gives the fruit of knowledge. The snake also knew the ladies are always inquisitive. That's why it chose to convince the lady than the man. It was sly move by an entity also created by God. It was obvious that once the lady becomes knowledgeable, she will easily convince her partner to test the fruit. Till, till now, Adam was not Adam and Eve was not Eve. They were only two different entities created by God. They both were ignorant about their being so important. They never thought of physical difference so vivid. They both had no knowledge of anything. They were happy. They hardly knew the source of unhappiness is knowledge. The serpent did the trick of targeting the lady of the story. Do you know, young lady, that God is jealous of you? It started with a questionable question to begin with. What do you want to say? Counter questioned the lady. Listen carefully. God does not want anybody like him. It said, if you eat the fruit, you will be knowledgeable. It also said, then you will be equally powerful like him. God is afraid. You may dethrone him from his state. They ultimately agreed to eat the fruit of knowledge once. The serpent helped her to face the fruit from the tree. She should not have forgotten the command of God. She should have ignored the temptation to eat the fruit. With the fruit in her hand, she was thinking about her man. Should she eat first or should she ask the man to eat first? The serpent knew well the man won't test it first. He will convince the lady, follow the command. He will convince the lady, follow the command of God. The serpent did not take any risk of spoiling its master plan. Don't waste time, lady. The fruit power is not last long. It cautioned, if you don't eat now, you won't eat ever. Hesitating, the girl tasted the forbidding fruit of knowledge. She was delighted. It gave tons of knowledge, it lead us so far. She ran to her man and gave her the remaining part of the fruit. She insisted him to taste the forbidden fruits of knowledge, and he tasted to become the most knowledgeable person. Both saw each other and found the difference to be hidden. Suddenly God appeared. Both ran behind the tree. God understood that his command was broken. Instantaneously, he called the guard and gave his verdict. From this moment, these two entities won't stay here forever. And from now on, they will be known as knowledgeable mortals. They will be loaded with attributes, intentions, and dreams. They will not experience both happiness. They will now experience both happiness and suffering. They were out of Garden of Eden by the order of God. A guard with the sword of fire was assigned to protect that area. No sooner they saw themselves, they covered their body for identification, named themselves as Adam and Eve. They were knowledgeable now. They had many attributes: love, hate, anger, fear, nervousness, ego, care, sympathy, jealous, jealousy, betrayal, boldness, leadership, dictatorship, sportsmanship, relationships, friendship, craftsmanship. Intense intentions added in the mind of Adam and Eve. To satisfy themselves, they could now commit murder, other crimes, deceiving, alibi, protectionism, nationalism, and they will create their own language and religion. Dreams came along with the many attributes and intentions to be king or queen, dictator, master, ruler, administrator. Good dreams were too added with the like writer, warrior, savior. It made collage of many attributes, intention, and dreams. Now they will be independent of fear of God or anybody. They will have their own children, raise them as they wish, may or may not see their grandchildren. They are mortals. They have to go back, leaving only their desired legacy. Adam and Eve went out to find the Garden of Eden. They were expelled thousands of centuries years ago. Frantically, they would search everyone on this earth, but they could not find the beautiful garden, their home. Instead, they collided with heaps of garbage everywhere. Oh my God, thinking that house full of cinema and jail, rush hours, accident, war zones, volcanoes, earthquakes, lightning, tsunami, forest fire, floods, weather change. They found their children were weeping, unhappy. Few flowers were blooming here and there as beauty spot. Pollution of water and air were unbearable, made them cry. The golden shiny beaches has become muddy and sticky. Hatred all around the name of religion, caste and creed, gifted values of womanhood was crushed and humiliated. Beautiful grasslands were converted into concrete jungles. Oh dear, Eve, why you listen to the serpent or so evil? Suddenly they found a bunch of children laughing around. From here there is a third. Suddenly they found a bunch of children laughing aloud. Some were cleaning the fields, some were planting plants, some were busy cleaning the nearby river so dear to them. They were singing, "Let us create the Garden of Eden." They saw each other, they stopped. Then they went near the field. Adam and Eve heard the chorus, very clear and sweet. "We are the one, we care for this word so lovingly made. Together we will bury the misdeeds of the past so cruel. One day we will surely bring back the Garden of Eden, or the Garden of Lords, or the Garden of God for sure." Adam and Eve prayed, "Oh Lord, fulfill their dream, please. My wife woke me up. Let us go to the beach for sunshine."
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mr. Aurobindo. It was lovely listening to you. Moving on, we have Ms. Kamalika Bhattacharya. May we please hear from her? Hi. Yes. Can you hear now? I think you can speak now.
Am I audible now?
Yes, 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 yes. You're
Yes.
audible.
I think there's some problem with the earphone, so I just removed it. Good evening, everyone. I don't have a lot of poem to present this evening. I have only one to share with all of you in this platform. Um, so, in this world of restlessness, everything, but certain things are timeless, and we are on some timeless edge some moments, and I have just composed something around that. So here it goes. A spark of feelings that dwell beneath your skin and rushes through your veins, that stimulates your actions, good or bad, vibrant or dull, helps you to evolve, a truth that no one wishes to accept, a secret everyone likes to guard, made of millions of unsaid words, some known and some unknown. Fire too brings a spark, but it's powerful than the flames, for it ignites your soul deep within. In a moment, it electrifies your mood. In yet another, you drown yourself in silence. True spark never burns the other, it doesn't vaporize.
a process that remains unchanged, irreversible. On the contrary, you find your solace in a river that twists and flows consistently back to the sea. It just flows no matter what. For certain things are beyond give and take, just a mere need to reciprocate, to unearth the hidden feelings of the heart. Longing's not subjective, but deeper than that, a flow of thought, a flow of current we carry for each other. No one to blame, no one to slander, just in search of each other and become timeless. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Kamalika. Moving on, we have Miss Rivati Raj Iyer, who has specially woken up 2 a.m. in the morning. So let's hear from her.
Hi everyone, I'm Revati Iyer. I chose the field of creative writing after having had a career as head of legal and corporate secretary. I have published a few books and I'm still counting, so fingers crossed. First of all, I would like to thank Ukiyoto Publishing, Shirsha, for organizing this event to celebrate the World Poetry Day. I would also like to thank Madam Mani Rao for being the guest of honor. I'm not sure if she's still part of this chat. I'm not sure about
No,
that.
she left because
Anyway, she left after reading her poems and a few minutes thereafter, I suppose. Anyway, poems are a beautiful way of expressing one's innermost thoughts without any inhibitions. They have passion, truth, melancholy, mystery, and sensitivity. My poem, Silence of the Valley, is about a grave digger longing for his friend, lost in the abyss, and whose memory haunts him. This poem is loosely based on the militancy in Kashmir. Silence of the Valley. The gorgeous ravines resonate the sound of silence. The ghosts of the kindred haunt in the dead of the night. A cold darkness fills a dread in me. I shudder as I think of my friend. His soulful music caressed the cool breeze, a melancholy in every strum. His music reverberates in my ears, alas, fills me with sorrow profound. We grew up here amidst cloaked innocence, watching the clouds descend like a blanket to protect us, the hills and the valley. The sunshine kissed the mountains, the moonlight shimmered over the valley. A poet rose within me as the beauty overwhelmed my senses. My home was a heaven once, now a graveyard walked with time. I emerge as a grave digger, knew not why my destiny was so. Why did I not run away? Did hope fail me? I am too depressed and drained to even think straight. The poet in me died slowly. I live in the shadow of ghosts. Oh, my beautiful home, God's own creation. Humans have torn apart, turned it into a living hell. Memories, an echo from the past, cannot be erased. One can dwell or revel in them or let them rest in peace. I live in the here and now, and that will also join the memory wagon in the blink of an eye. Memories, emotional props that sustain us. Could we live without them? Beyond them? I long for my dear friend, his soothing music. Will I ever see him again? I wonder. What lies beyond the hills? I wonder. Thank you for your attention and time.
thank you, Rivati. It was a really nice poem. Moving
Thank
on, we have Mr. Shabani Lakshmi Narayana. So may we please hear from him. Can you please unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself? You're on mute. We can't hear you. You're on mute, Mr. Lakshmi Narayana. Can you please unmute yourself? Okay, he can't unmute himself, so I think we can move on. So I'll just, as we speak about poetries, let me tell you a little bit about our world record project, Hyperpoem. With the grand launch and the huge success of Hyperpoem Season 1, we now move forward towards Hyperpoem Season 2, a special project where authors from around the world come together to create poetries about friendship and cooperation. The aim of the Hyperpoem Season 2 project is to showcase authors' works and strengthen cross-cultural relationships between authors from different countries, as well as to establish a world record and release a grand collection of poetry subsequently. The theme for all submitted quatrains should be international cooperation or international friendship. Over 1,900 authors from more than 90 countries had already been a part of Hyperpoem Volume 1, and the project started in 2020 but really got going in 2021 when lots of people wanted to take part. The authors each wrote a short poem called a quatrain about friendship in their own local language. The aim of creating Hyperpoem is to have the largest number of authors with the maximum number of languages. Hence, chances are more to be taken up if you are writing in regional languages, which have lesser chance of having several others writing in it. The title would be also published, distributed, and promoted by us as paperbacks, hardbacks, and ebooks worldwide. For more information, to register for free, and to submit your poem, you may please visit ukiyoto.com/hyperpoem. I think Mr. Lakshmi Narayana is unmuted now.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we may hear from him.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Yes, it is
Hello?
audible. Yes, it is audible.
Thank you. Thank you. On the occasion of World Poetry Day 2024, I congratulate all of you participating in this evening. So my poem is that is love. On love. How the oceans are formed is not known. Perhaps they are the tears of lovers. That's probably why they are salty. Make friends with your heart, love honestly, innocently, not being stable like trees or bushes. Maybe for having a mind, maybe for being human, probably because they are intelligent beings and not like animals. Tears flow. These seven seas were formed with those tears. No matter the continents, no matter where peoples are, for having hearts and minds, for thinking that friendship should be not only friendship but also love. Maybe you won't find love in life. Hearts are broken, tears rain down, flowing in rivers. The seas have been formed. Innocent, crazy, cowardly lovers, those who don't know that answer will come only if you cross your fingers. Always a train we have to get on, a lifetime late. According to the words of the poet Arudra, what is the use of holding the leaves after burning the hinds? What is the use of holding the leaves after burning the hinds? That's why cowards should probably not love. Love demands sacrifice. For what and for whom? Devadasu shed tears like a coward. Like Parvati, you have to spend time pulling the cart of life. Yes, let us go. Let us live together. Don't have the courage to. Be it caste, religion, status, job, America, Australia, parents, relatives, friends, society. When there is a society of people who scream and shout, the ethics of arrogant and vicious scumbags, because of the barriers of rules and regulations, lovers have to cry like this. Devadasu Parvati is an example of timid lovers. Laila Majnu, Juliet Romeo. All the love stories are the same even across the continents. Whatever the country, whatever the region, whatever the region, lovers are cowards. They think that if we can't live together, we will probably die. The name of sacrifice is given to it. A blooming flower, a growing tree, aspires to progress. What can you do if you are worried that you are not getting it? Fools who think death is the way, cowards are lovers. Prepare to die. Love is for giving, maybe not for taking. As trees give flowers and fruits, as rivers and seas give water, people should give love. Want, want unrequited love. When the wall of caste is put across love, when the mask of religion is removed, man is forgetting the relationship that is humanity. Love, why do you born? Love, why are you dying? Love is probably a giver, not a taker. We should love man as we love God and the country. Maybe give and forget. Satisfaction is there in giving. As tree give flowers and fruits, as rivers and seas give water, people should give love. Maybe love is the fuel for man's life. There is probably no man who cannot love. Someone somewhere will surely love someone. If love is one bond in life, marriage is another bond. A bond that binds love with marriage. It gives beauty and happiness. Love is different. Marriage is different for some people. To hide the heart, to defile the mind, they are responsible for their own lives. Don't mask love. Don't pollute love. That love does not come to cowards. Show the world and say, why do you cry and die? It is to live, not to die, and die to live. If not one, then another. A man can love one or two. If there is no impurity in mind, if there is no impurity in mind, as the radiating sunlight spreads all the directions, as we can spread our love to many people. Why do we suffer? Do not suffer. Time gives man some opportunities. It is the task of the wise to make good use of them. It is for not doing what should be. It is the task of the wise to make good to use of them for not doing what should be done at the time it should be done. Time will do that work. As these people are leather dolls, someone will play them. Some lives are destroyed because they are creatures in their hands. Life remains as tears rather than living with money and status. Blessed are those who live with love. Nature gave man a mouth to express his pain. Do people deceive the mind? Self witness knows the truth. Ignorant lovers. We are the creator of our life. We have to make our life like a beautiful garden or a beautiful world. What we lost in life, what we get, what we lost. As the essence of Bhagavad Gita says, Transformation is the virtue of life. If the nest collapses, it can be built again. The bird gathers and rebuilds its shattered nest feather by feather. Is it difficult for us humans to make this life beautiful and enjoyable? It is enough to find a man with a heart. Life is blessed. That is love. So thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
listening.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mr. Lakshmi Narayana, for this wonderful poem. Moving on, we have with us Miss Vidya Gopinath. May we please hear from her.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me here. Uh, can you hear me, right?
Okay.
Uh, yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, sure. So my this first poem that I want to recite today is from my debut book, that is Voice Bouquet of Feelings, for which I that was probably my first one that I ever published actually. So, and also this poem specifically is written was written rather when I was in college, so it's like years old. I just included it in my recent book. That's all. Uh, so it's about it's called The Broken Wings. Oh, for the black dark doom, the heavy doom of illumine upon me. Like the pieces of broken glass, my shattered dreams stare at me. My dreams of heavy hue, pink, black, or blue. Heavy sounds of applause deafen me, and the shout for encores around me filled me with pleasure as I soared high and higher, basking in the love of people. But alas, for a sudden fall. Broken wings of my dreams face me, and the feelings of desperation seek me. Dejection fills my soul, and I stand alone now, alone in a dull and dreary world. I end up with my shattered dreams, and nothing but despair lasts. And my last and final poem, I probably want to, it's again from the same book. It's called Silence. Silence so profound, more eloquent than any sound.
Miss Vidya, you're on mute.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you start from
Yeah.
the beginning, the poem?
Oh, yeah. You mean the first one?
No, just the one you started
Second.
right now.
Yeah, okay, now, right? Okay. So that's called silence. Silence so profound, more eloquent than any sound, is fraught with meaning as a statement so compelling. Described as sullen or ominous, it is also short and rebellious. But those are just misnomers for a reticence so intense. Upon the soul, often a dead weight or a resounding echo of the heart. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Vidya. I think Miss Revati wanted to say something.
No, actually, I just wanted to excuse myself to get my charger, which I did. So sorry, Vidya, I missed your first poem. So yeah, so that's why.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't realize
I'm
that.
so
I mean,
sorry
yeah.
about that
So,
because I just realized my laptop is dying. So
Okay. Okay. Moving
thank
on,
you.
we have Miss Ridhima Sen with us. So may we please hear from her. Ridhima, are you there? Okay. I think maybe Ridhima is having some issues. Moving on to our next participant, we have with us Miss Kanchan Pandey. So let's hear from her.
Yeah, hello everyone, good evening and namaste from India, north of India. I'm from Maharashtra, that is in the central part of India, but working in north of India, Patna, Bihar. My name is Kanchan Pandey. I am an educator and I'm a published author, I can say. I have two of my books co-authored and published by Ukiyoto publishers only, so I'm grateful to them. And I'm going to recite. I mostly write short stories and articles that are published in newspapers. I have my own blog, and then I have a short story, Love of Two Souls, published by Ukiyoto in Naira Volume 3. And I have a poem, I Need You Mom, in the book Dear Mom, Volume 5 by Ukiyoto again. So I'll recite that poem only. One I've been writing now, I recently started, just recently, yesterday I started. That is, yes, I am that spoiled brat because I'm an educator, I'm a principal. I've been observing and experiencing different kinds of children, different kind of child psychology and their behavior. So I'm coming up with this poem, would be summarizing why they have that distracted and what we can say spoil kind of bad behavior and all. But then that is not complete. So I'll be reciting the poem I Need You Mom. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So I'll be reciting I Need You Mom. Just give me a second. It was till now it was open and now it has closed. So I need one moment. Life is a joy and challenges it brings. But when I suddenly stumble, I need you, Mom. When I don't like things and I want to grumble, in all my dodgels and doldrums, and to tolerate my tantrums, I need you, Mom. When no one believes me and I want to be heard, I need you, Mom. When I am restless, my dreams are endless. To make me feel proud of my dreams and not guilty for my weird whims, I need you, Mom. We were Papa's princesses and prince, but how elegantly you've been the queen, with a sari on you and a couple more to possess. Yet the magic you spread, the aura you spewed, the placidity of your eyes and the jingle of your laugh could have made no better a better half. When I often said, our father is our hero, your calm reinforcement and no jealousy, no insecurity, so surprising. You too ground the mill, and we glorified his will. Will of endurance, will of resilience, will of sustenance. We emulated his grit and relished his perseverance. How naively we forgot we had inherited your penance. To tell you that you were that unheard hero, I need you, Mom. To tell you that I wish to tell you, you were my teacher, you've been my friend, and to tell you that you are my reverend, I need you, Mom. How fetched you loved them more when I had been pampered no less than galore. How villainously silly was I in trying to be evinced? How villainously silly was I in trying to be evinced that it were only them with whom you were always convinced? How could I forget the innumerable moments when how could I forget the innumerable moments that had you by me with no judgments? To thank you for your peerless love, I need you, Mom. We had bursts of laughter through all thick and thin. Life was ruthless, life was bounteous. But in all her vacillating turmoils, we've been akeen. We fight over rubbish, we fight like childish. But to tell you that we are the brothers and sisters of the millennium, to tell you that we are the brothers and sisters through all pandemonium, we will need you more. Thank you all. That's all. I have one more, but then I think that's sufficient.
Yes, you can go on if you want.
It's very simple one. It's like everybody is a common person, very common, but not ordinary. This is what my idea is. So yes, one moment I'll be reciting that only. I'm a common human being. I have courage, but I often have fears. I have aspirations, but I often lack guts. I'm a common human being. I'm happy for others' success, but I'm even jealous at times. I cry on my destiny, but I never disparage others' achievements. I'm a common human being. I'm sometimes overjoyed, sometimes excited, sometimes cool and composed, but I'm never flabbergasted to see something new or unachievable. Sorry, I'll come again. I'm often cool and composed, but I'm never flabbergasted to see something new or unachievable. Yes, I am commonest, but not ordinary. Thank you. That was written long back actually during my college time, and this I Need You, my mom was written last year only for my mother. who was going to be operated on. So she was lacking courage to motivate her. I just told her that I need you and we will be needing you even more for many years. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kanchan, for this lovely poem. Moving on, we do have Ridhima Sen with us. So may we please hear from Ridhima? I think she's still having. Hello?
Hello, yeah, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible. Can you please turn on the video
Yeah,
camera
yeah,
and
yeah.
have a quick
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. So start from now.
Ridhima, you're not audible.
I was reading audible now.
Your voice is breaking and we can't see you.
Should I turn
I think she's having extremely poor network.
audible now? Hello.
No, actually, your voice is breaking, Ridhima.
Okay. Will I rejoin and try once? I'm really sorry for thinking
Yes,
this.
yes, you can continue
I
now.
think yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So I'm not turning on my camera because I think this. So I can poem with camera on.
Okay, sure.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much. I a few months ago and experienced a physical
Can you please repeat?
have a
It's
thousand
not
fold.
audible.
Any kind sure. Sorry, yeah, it's different now.
No, can you
Uh,
please change the room or maybe just get out of the room where you are?
okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Aurobindo, do you want to say something? You are raising your hand.
Yeah, yeah. Ridhima madam is busy with her connection. Can you repeat the whole thing that you were talking about?
About hyperpoem.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just repeat about hyperpoem. It's a world record project, and with the grand launch and the huge success of Hyperpoem Season 1, we are moving towards to Hyperpoem Season 2, which is also a special project where authors from around the world come together to create poetries about friendship and cooperation. The aim of the Hyperpoem Season 2 project is to showcase authors' works and strengthen cross cultural relationships between authors from different countries as well as to establish world record and release a grand collection of poetry subsequently. The theme for all would be quatrains should be international cooperation or international friendship. And the aim of creating hyperpoem is to have the largest number of authors with the maximum number of languages. Hence, chances are more to be taken up if you are writing in your regional language, which have lesser chance of having several others writing in it. And the title would also be published and distributed and promoted by us as paperbacks, hardbacks, and ebooks worldwide. So, any more information if you need, if you want to register for the same, and if you want to submit your poem, you can submit
Uh,
it at ukiyoto.com/hyperpoem. Yes.
are you sending? Are you sending this information to individually to us?
You can check ukiyoto.com/hyperpoem, or you can mail us at publishing at Ukiyoto and we will guide us for the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
So
it is better to send one mail individual,
we will check on that. Thank you.
like other like this.
Yes, we will check on
It
that.
is better. Individually, we receive message and we respond easily,
Okay,
fairly.
we will be sending you emailers for the same.
It is better because in group we could not read or reach. It is individual, definitely is more friends they attend.
Sure. Sure.
Thank you.
So as I think, as Ridhima,
Yeah, am I audible now?
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, hi. Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. So sorry for the inconvenience. You have to wait for a long time. I know, but my net was glitching so much. I just hope it's better now. So I wrote this poem a few days ago, and this is kind of philosophical in nature since it raises the question regarding the role death plays in life and how it can kind of coexist with death. So, like, I'll begin with the poem now. The title of the poem is An Unique Montage. I stood across the road opposite the catacomb of the city. A question struck me. Was death really peaceful or was it tragic? Leaving behind the ones you love, I suddenly felt as if a pair of eyes were staring at me from the catacomb. Happy and smiling, the shadow whispered, Death is eternal slumber, free from the woes of the world, as tranquil as the forest, as calm as the dewdrops settled on the tips of leaves. That was it. Thank you so much. And really sorry for the inconvenience once again because I didn't expect my net to glitch so much.
Thank you so much, Ridhima. I'm just mentioning the names who are not, who were supposed to be here today, but they maybe missed out. We were supposed to hear from Mr. Manmohan Sadhna and Miss Shankolita Roy, Shiba Khatun. So these three authors are not present here with us in this meeting, but we surely miss them. And for everybody who joined, thank you so much for joining this evening and celebrating the magic of poetry. Let's keep the spirits of creativity alive in our hearts. An announcement to make: we are having our annual program, Solstice 2024, in New Delhi at the India on 11th August. And you are most welcome to attend, participate, and invite your friends and family, as it is an open entry for all. For active participation in book launches, talk shows, and release, you may visit ukyotoindia.com/events/solstice-2024. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night, and until we meet again, may poetry continue to inspire and unite us all. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye,
You.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you.